Yes guys, we keep it moving and we keep improving. Today, episode 2, walk and talk with me, how we do. We're going to talk about mistakes people make during their journey on fat loss. That's what we're talking about today, people. I've walked my dogs this morning. I've been to the gym, trained chest and done core. Now I'm doing some steady steps on episode 2, walk and talk with me. Daniel Barrett, be extraordinary. So I've got a list here of all the mistakes people make during their fat loss journey. Let's go through them. So the first one will be cutting your food take too low and way too soon. So if you're on your journey just starting, you're not going to survive just eating lettuce, a bit of fruit here and there, a couple of smoothies, a few nuts, a slice of avocado. What will happen is if you try and eat like that every single day, that rabbit food, you're going to crash. Metabolism is going to be absolutely shit. You won't be able to perform properly in the gym. You won't feel good. You won't feel great. You'll have headaches. You'll be moody. And naturally you will start picking at foods that are back into your old habits. So cutting calories, cutting your volume intake doesn't make any sense. If you do it the right way and have a high protein diet, you will be full for longer. And I swear to God, when you do start a high protein diet, it's going to be very hard to eat your full protein a day. I still struggle some days myself now. I eat 200 grams of protein a day. I get that through Greek yogurt, I get that through berries, I get it through whey protein, ribeye steaks, chicken thighs, lamb chops, everything possible. I will get that protein source from nuts, peanut butter, cottage cheese. I'm not a big fan of, but I have it sometimes. Tuna. So when you have high protein, the volume of food you'll eat will be more. If you're a person that was on a refined, processed, high sugar, high carbohydrate diet, it's not satisfying. This is why you gain fat. So if you're eating chocolates every day, anybody can eat 10 chocolate bars a day. Try and eat 2 or 3 steaks a day. Try and get through 3 or 4 apples a day. Try and drink 4 protein shakes. It's harder to eat those things because they're full of protein and they satisfy you quicker. So focus on a high protein diet, people, and you won't crash and you will feel great and you will feel good. That's how you maintain and build muscle. You train harder in the gym and the cycle goes on. But if you try and cut down your food really low and eat 1 meal a day or just having a steak a day or really minimizing what you're eating, it's inevitable you're not going to maintain that for the rest of your life. The food choices you make today to look better and feel better, you want to have those foods forever. It's not just for a diet for 16 weeks and you crash and burn out. Eat foods that get you into the habit of eating like that for the rest of your life. So that's tip number 1. Let me look at this list, I've got loads here. The next one is over-relying on cardio. When I first started training and got into my fat loss journey, I thought cardio was my main tool, and it wasn't. I was doing cardio like an hour a day. I was doing treadmills, light jogs. I was doing a Stairmaster like a madman. And I come to realize is a balanced, healthy food regime that's on point with a little bit of naughtiness in, and strength training and walking like I'm doing now will get you the physique you want. With cardio, when you overdo cardio, what you're going to do is you're going to lose muscle. Your body will adapt to the cardio naturally and you're going to want to do more cardio, and all you'll do is shrink the shape that you've already got. So let me explain. If you're a person that's 30% body fat and you've got a certain muscle mass on your body and you overdo cardio, You will drop weight, yes, but you won't drop body fat. So if you drop weight and lose muscle, that means you're going to increase your body fat. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I'll say it again. So if you're 30% body fat and have a certain amount of muscle mass on your body, if your muscle mass goes down because you're doing loads of cardio and your weight loss goes down, but your muscle hasn't gone up and you haven't dropped no body fat, because your frame is decreased, that means you've increased body fat on the frame that you have. So just because you're doing a lot of cardio, it's not beneficial. Cardio is a great tool to have on the side to help get rid of stubborn parts of body fat, but don't use it as a massive tool. I haven't done nothing dramatic in the last 6-7 months apart from doing what I'm doing, what you're seeing now. I walk my dogs, I do a calm walk on my walking pad, and when I feel like it, after my session in the gym, I do 20 minutes, exactly the same as this, but an incline walk on 8, the incline, and the speed's at 3. Nothing complicated, just completely basic. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like beginners, will try and start running. I'm not saying running is bad, but running is more endurance and building that heart and building that engine. So you have to remember, running is a skill. I haven't ran properly since I played football. So if I try to play football today and try and run around, I'll injure myself. I'll probably do my knee, I'll do my ankle, I could do my hamstring, my calves will get really tight, my lower back will be a mess. Running is a skill that needs to be practiced day in and day out. So if your aim is fat loss, I wouldn't suggest to start running on the streets. If you're a person that enjoys running and you've been doing it all your life, then fair enough. I'm not saying don't do running, but I'm just saying don't use running as a tool for fat loss. If your goal is endurance and you want to get fitter, you want a better heart and more stamina, then yes, go for a run, do more intensity on certain cardios, but don't use heavy hit cardio or anything crazy for fat loss. Hope that makes sense. Let's go on to the next one. And this one will be neglecting strength training. I'll put 2 into this one. Neglecting strength training or overtraining. So let's talk about neglecting strength training. So we're just talking about cardio. The key to fat loss is strength training. That's one of the main keys. So when you're strength training and building muscle hates body fat. The more you train, the more muscle you build, the more protein you can have, the more you're taking, it will build that metabolism and you will drop body fat and the cycle continues. Does that make sense? So if you strength train 4 or 5 times a week, you're gonna build muscle. Yeah? Muscle loves protein. You eat protein, those muscles repair and grow and get bigger. While you're growing and getting bigger and resting, you're burning more calories while resting. After training, that means you're gonna burn more calories and that means you're gonna burn body fat. This is why I say strength training is more important than the cardio. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense so far. And then the opposite to that is you could be overtraining. If you're training every single day and not giving your body a chance to repair, your body will adapt to that training, your body will get scared and shut down and start storing fat. So let me give you an example. I got this example from Dorian Yates. This is a great analogy. Imagine you've cut your finger and you put a plaster on it and you think, oh, the next day I'm gonna take the plaster off, I'm gonna go to work and do whatever. That cut will take longer to repair because the plaster is not on there recovering. If you constantly keep opening up that wound, it's not gonna grow and repair. It's the same with your muscle tissue. If you keep pounding legs every single day, which I see a lot of females do, a lot of females talk about building their glutes and building legs. I see a lot of females on their stories, they train legs every single day. Give me, what day do you rest? How is your legs gonna repair and grow if you're not resting those legs? They need to repair. Go to another muscle group and train something else. You need to have time to recover and repair your muscle group. I would say at least give each muscle group 4 to 5 days to repair. That's my opinion. I train one single muscle group per day. So today I've just trained my chest. I've trained my whole chest and I've done core. That's it. On another day, I will train shoulders. I feel like I got more focus and I build better just focusing on one muscle group. I train arms on a single day. You know what I mean? If things need topping up like my calves, my arms, triceps and stuff, I will do that probably with like a bigger muscle group sometimes. But the majority, I will train single muscle groups on one day. Hope that makes sense. Let's go on to the next. And this is another one for all you newbies as well. If you're starting your food regime, this new diet, this new lifestyle, not tracking what you're taking in. If you're a person that's got a coach and he's gave you a meal plan, you need to be downloading MyFitnessPal and understanding how much protein, fats, carbohydrates, fiber you're taking in through the day. If you're not someone that understands nutrition and the volume of what goes in what, and not weighing your food, you're just guesstimating. You know what I mean? How long are you going to be reading someone's meal plan from a coach? You're going to be doing that till you're 60, 70. So from now, start understanding the nutrients, what's in your food. So when you go out for food or you go in shopping, you can pick up a chicken and go, okay, if I have this amount of chicken a day, I'm going to get 40 to 50% of protein from this. If I have this amount of Greek yogurt a day, I'm going to get 20, 25% from this. If I have this protein shake today and I take out a couple of scoops, that's going to be about 48 grams of protein. Understand the measurements of your food and what is what. Understand your protein intake, your carbohydrate intake, your fats and your fiber is very important, or you're just guesstimating it and winging it. So I would suggest everyone in their lifetime to download MyFitnessPal, even just for a month, to understand what you're taking in your body. Hope that makes sense. This is another one on the list. Ignoring sleep. This is one I was bad at as well. When I first started training, I was still a bit of a party animal, up and down the motorway, coming back at 4:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and then training with my pal at 9, 10 in the morning, smelling the vodka, smelling the alcohol, absolute mess. Your body can't function, especially when you start this lifestyle on minimal sleep. It's impossible. You can't train, you don't eat right. When you don't sleep properly, you will set off your hunger signals. You will naturally store body fat. It sets you up wrong for the day. You'll start nibbling certain things. Your body needs time to sleep, so your body recovers from sessions. Your body grows the most in its sleep. So sleep is very important. If you don't sleep, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not progressing. If you're not sleeping, you're not dropping body fat. This is the cycle, people. The magic happens when you have that 7 to 8 hours to sleep per day. So make sure you're getting enough sleep every day. If you have one late night in the week, it's not going to kill you. But as long as you catch up on that sleep, on average through the week, you'll be perfectly fine. So don't neglect sleep. Sleep is another powerful tool that helps you to that journey. This is another one that a lot of people miss upon, a lack of consistency. Everyone's trying to trace perfection. You don't need to be perfect, just be consistent. And what I mean by that is there's 52 weeks in a year. If you train 5 times a week over the year and you miss, say on average, a month or 2 months of training from the year, you've still trained you still train 46 to 44 weeks of the year. If you're a person that's only training twice a week and missing weeks and whatever, and you check the average over a year and you've only trained 3 to 4 months over a 12-month period, you're not going to get no gains or nothing from that. And the same with your food as well. If you're a person that's constantly cheating and messing up your food plan and your lifestyle and eating more badness than goodness over the year, so for example, if you're eating bad 250 days out of the year and the other 165 is eating well, you're not going to gain anything. You're not gonna gain no muscle. You're not gonna drop no body fat because you're not consistent. Consistency over perfection. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having cheat meals. There's nothing wrong with having a naughty day. There's nothing wrong with having a bit of alcohol here and there. It's all about balance. But don't over-consume alcohol, your refined carbohydrates, your sugars. Have a balance, be consistent. I always say, instead of focusing on having a cheat day, try and set plans out for birthdays, christenings, weddings, if you're going on holiday. You know what I mean? Like if you've got planned a date night, have the cheat meal on that day. Don't just have a cheat meal for the sake of having a cheat meal. You know what I mean? So set it around occasions that are coming up. So when you go to that wedding, or you're going out to a celebration night for someone passing their test, or a baby shower, you can eat and enjoy and drink your Prosecco with the girls, or the lads can go out and have beers with the lads and feel guilt-free doing it because the consistency and the balance is there. But don't just have cheat days or cheat weekends or whatever you do just for the sake of having them, because you'll set yourself back a week or two and you're constantly up and down the snake and ladders. Constantly you're up a ladder doing well, you're down a snake again, up a ladder, down a snake. You don't want to be doing that. You constantly want to be dropping body fat, getting better, looking leaner over time. Hope that makes sense. This is what I used to do back in the day, and a lot of people still do this to this day, but you got to have the mindset to do it, just focusing on the scale. So bear in mind, I weigh myself every day, and the reason I weigh myself every day is because it shows me what I'm lacking or what I'm messing around on. So for example, I've told you this before, I love watching the football. So one of the main reasons I bought the walking pad was, on a weekend, I'm very sedentary, so I'll be watching Super Sunday, I'll be watching my team, the best team in the world, Villa play. I'm majority of the day I'm sitting down. So when I weigh myself the next day, I will put on a few pounds based on I've been sedentary. I put on a bit of water weight. So I like to know, okay, I can understand my body. If I sit down quite a lot, I'm not active this day, I'm gonna put on some water weight. If I have a day where I like some roast potatoes with a Sunday dinner and I weigh myself, oh no, I'll put on a bit of water weight. When I go back to the regime or I'm more active, that bit of water goes and some body fat as well. So it's good just to gauge and understand how your body works. That's the reason why I weigh myself every day, not to check if I've dropped body fat, oh my God, what do I weigh today? Just to understand my body and what foods react to me and what will make me put on weight or what will make me drop weight and what not. I like to track and understand how my body works. But a lot of people will mess themselves up and get stressed, and this is the thing I'm saying. So you could go on a scale, especially if you're a female and it's that time of the month, you'll put on weight during your cycle. If you stress about putting on weight, you get into a dangerous cycle and you get stressed, you raise your cortisol levels, you're gonna gain some more water weight, you're gonna put on weight. So if you're constantly stressing yourself, weighing every day, that's a dangerous cycle just for not dropping body fat and constantly putting on water weight and water retention. So don't over stress about the scales. The body fluctuates every day. You could have had your last meal a bit too late. Like I said, it could be that time in the month for a female. You could have had a couple of drinks on the weekend. You could be like me, you've watched the football over the weekend, haven't moved that much. It could be a lot of things why the scales go up, but the scales go up and down through your life, as long as they're downtrending on the journey to your fat loss goal. That's all that matters. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but as long as you're trending down over time, you'll be perfectly fine. Hope that makes sense. Just checking the time I've done so far. I do half an hour a day on this walking pad. So when it gets to half an hour, this video is done. So we've got 10 minutes left to walk and talk with me. So these videos I'm doing, you can watch this, listen to this while you're doing your own cardio in your house or you're doing it in the gym, headphones on and zone out and understand why you're plateauing or not dropping body fat the right way. Let's get to the next one. This is another one, and I was like this as well, and I think this is everybody. Giving up too soon and not being patient. You're not being patient enough. Like, if you put on body fat over the last 3 to 4 years, you're not gonna get the perfect shape within 3 to 4 weeks, within 4 months. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, people. This, like, I'm being totally honest, and I say this on every single video. This new journey I've done now, I told you I'm not gonna yo-yo ever again. I started my journey properly last year, July the 9th. I was just under 20 stone, 19 stone 6'7" to be precise. I'm now 17 stone 8. On average from July to now, I've dropped 4 pounds a month. It takes time, people. Anyone that tells you can get into the best shape of your life within 8 to 16 weeks is lying to you. You can't put on so much body fat over the years and then drop all that body fat, have abs and look amazing in 8 to 16 weeks. You can look better in 8 to 16 weeks, of course you can, because when you drop certain foods straight away, your face changes because you drop the sugar, the refined carbohydrates have gone, so your body composition will change during that time, but you won't get to your desired shape and goal straight away. It's not going to happen, people. It's just not going to happen. Set realistic long-term goals, and I said this yesterday. I used the Bill Gates quote, and I said a lot of people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10. Zoom out and think long term. That's with wealth, that's with friends, that's with your girlfriend or boyfriend, your partner, and that's with the fat loss journey. Anything that comes quick is not worth having, and anything that's worth having doesn't come easy. So what I'm doing with you is like, right now, this is episode 2. I'll do this for 100 days. So I'm gonna do 100 episodes. This is episode 2. There's 98 episodes to go. I'll also do this on my story on Instagram. I will post myself doing this walk every day. It's just consistency, people. Like, there's no magic pill to drop body fat. It's just consistency and doing the same things day in, day out, eating the same foods, doing the same walk, training the same muscles, doing the same exercises. And that's what it is. There's no cheat code or nothing. This is the cheat code. Consistency, patience, discipline. It's raining today. I still went to the gym in the rain. You gotta get it done. Did I feel like going today? To be totally honest, I didn't feel like going. But I said this as well yesterday. I would never regret a session or regret doing what I'm doing now, because I know the benefits of what it's doing to my body. You know what I mean? So you've got to keep going, people, because we keep it moving and we keep improving. Another one as well, people. This don't really apply to me, but I'm not a big drinker. But people that love a drink, drinking your calories. Alcohol. If you ever notice, if you buy a bottle of Baileys, if you buy a bottle of vodka, if you go and buy a cocktail drink from the shop and check the ingredients and the calorie intake, you will not see it on the bottle. And you know the reason why you don't see it on the bottle? Because the calories are so ridiculous in drinks, the sugar contents, there's nothing in there. So if they put the ingredients at the back, it'd be just a concoction of a lot of poisons, and the sugar levels would be out the roof. But this is, next time you go to the off license, have a look at the back of spirits, Baileys and whatever, and show me the calorie intake. All you'll see is the volume and the percent of how strong the drink is. You won't see the breakdown, the nutrients of what's in alcohol. And do you know why? Because there's no nutrients in alcohol. So when you're going out on a weekend on a bender, having a mad one, and I'm thinking, flipping out, put on 6-7 pounds over the weekend, you're drinking no sugar, you're drinking sugars and poisons. And that's the basic truth of it. And like I said, next time you go and get a drink, go to the off license and check the calorie breakdown and the nutrient breakdown in alcohol. You won't see it. And I'm not trying to scare you off drinking. I'm just saying, take your time on what you're drinking. You know what I mean? Just take your time. Have a vodka with a Diet Coke. Try and have stuff that are not as sugary and not as crazy with calories in. Baileys, I love a Baileys. If I drink a bottle of Baileys, I'm bloated, I feel like shit for a couple of days, my stomach's gone, I'm constantly going to the toilet. And that's probably the worst drink to have. In alcohol, it's so creamy, it's high in sugar. You know what I mean? So try and avoid alcohol as much as you can. And I think the better you get with your physique and your shape, the less you will naturally drink anyway. It's inevitable. You won't want to drink as much as you used to. This is another one. This is not on the list, but this is my own one. You've got to learn to cook, people. A lot of people will go to prep companies and get their food done, but there's pros and cons with prep companies. So the pros are with a prep company, they're quick, they're efficient, they're all set up and done for you. But again, if you don't know the breakdown in the food, the protein, the carbs, the fibers, the fats in that food, it probably is healthy, but do the macros in that food apply to your lifestyle? Do they apply to you? You know what I mean? So yeah, they're quick and easy if you're a person that's up and down and active, but I will say this all the time. I don't care if you're a prep company, I don't care if you go to the healthiest restaurants in the world. The bottom line is you don't know what they do in their kitchen with that food. You know what oils they're using, what salts, what they're seasoning their food with. You don't know what they're using. So it might be healthy, a better option than McDonald's, but to have peace of mind as well, and it's part of the journey. Start learning to cook and cooking in your own home. Prep it what I do is I get my food on a Sunday. I know exactly what I'm buying and I know what I'm having through the week. I have chickens, I have steaks, I have eggs, Greek yogurt, raspberry, blueberries. I have whey protein. If I feel like a protein bar through the week, Uncle Eddie, don't want to tap me. But if I feel like a protein bar or whey protein, I'll have that during the week as well. And loads of water. It's very simple, people. Learn to cook and know what you're cooking. Know what oils to use. Understand what seasonings you want on your food. Food doesn't have to be bland to drop body fat. I season all my food. I don't eat no bland shit. I couldn't live the rest of my life eating boiled chicken or plain chicken in an oven with just salt on and a bit of pepper. I couldn't live like that. That's just me. Some people can. So bodybuilders that are watching this now will understand their lifestyle is different to the average man. I'm talking to the average female and the average man that want to be beach ready, that want to look good for the beach, that want to look good in the summer. I ain't talking to a bodybuilder that wants to be 4% for a show. It's completely different narratives. So please understand this. You can season your food. You can have chicken thighs. You can have a ribeye steak. You can have peanut butter if you want to, but have it in little minimal doses. You can have peanuts. Bodybuilders start stripping down their fats in food and certain things to get to a certain body fat percentage for a show. We are not getting in shape for a show. We want to be healthy for the rest of our life. I want to be, like my guy Chris Jones says, you want to be whole ready. Respect to Chris Jones. You know what I mean? You want to look good for the beach, good for yourself. We're not aiming, and I made this mistake myself when I was on Instagram. Well, I'm still on Instagram. When I watch Instagram and I've got certain people I follow, the majority of people I naturally follow train for shows. Most females that follow females, the majority of the females that you follow do bikini contests or the training for a show. So naturally, when you see their physiques looking all tapered and looking super lean, you aspire to look like that. But you've got to be realistic. They're training for a show and you don't know what they're using substance-wise either. The majority of these bodybuilders are not natural, and that's not me attacking any sort of bodybuilders. But in that world, to get to the best peak against the best physiques in the world, you have to be taking something to a degree to be going against the best. So if you're looking at them bodybuilders thinking, I want to get like that one day, sorry guys, I don't know where that video stopped then, so I'll start back with what I was saying about looking at physiques. So naturally, I used to do this myself. We're at 30 minutes now, but I'll talk for a little bit longer. This is my last thing I'll talk about. So I was talking about people looking at other physiques. I follow a lot of bodybuilders that got amazing physiques, but when I first started on my journey in 2008, I think we only had Facebook then. I don't think Instagram was out. There's a lot of bodybuilders I follow. There's people in the gym that looks amazing. So I aspired to be like that. But when you realize as time goes on, you can have a great physique, but you won't look like a bodybuilder because it's taking certain things. We're not training for the Mr. Olympia. We're not training for a show. We're not training for Mr. Arnold. We're training to look the best we ever look for the rest of our lives. And we can look amazing for the beach, for the summer, feeling comfortable in your clothes. You want to wear a little vest in the summer with your sunglasses on. You want to look good for you. So naturally, when you're focusing on these bikini females and these bodybuilders, unless you want to go that route in bodybuilding, then so be it. But set realistic goals. If you're just a normal average guy that's training 4 or 5 times a week and talking about what I'm talking about, you can look amazing, you can have abs, you can have a great core, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying you can't get abs and you can't get veins and look good. I'm just saying you can't aspire to look like a bodybuilder if you're not going that route with certain things. It's inevitable. You're going to start taking performance-enhancing drugs to get to that degree. So people that are following them people, don't get the guidelines twisted. There's 2 different sort of physiques. There's beach ready, which can be 11 to 12%. Then there's stage ready at 5% and lower. There's a major difference in them percentages. Even down to your body, you have to remember, if you're 30% body fat, when you get down to 10, you've got 20% body fat, which is amazing. But the lower you get in the digits, when you get down to the 10% mark, every percent down there counts. So when you go from 10 to 9%, it's more dramatic than dropping from 30 to 29. Does that make sense? So the lower body fat you've got, the more you will see your muscles and certain things down with every pound and every little inch of body fat you drop. So that's a difference. So there's a massive difference between 11 to 12%, flashing 10, all the way down to 5. You can look like 2 different people. You know what I mean? So when you see these guys, remember they're training just for a show, for one day, or for 3 or 4 shows through the year. They'll go through maintenance again, they'll put on a bit of weight and then drop it back down, go through maintenance and so on and so on. We're not going through maintenance and constantly, we want to get to a physique where if your weight fluctuates, say 7 pounds in a year, 8 pounds in a year, that's okay. 8 pounds is not hard to drop off within 12 weeks or 16 weeks for your holiday. But like I said to you before, my proper weight is 16 stone 7, 16 stone 5. I put on over 3 stone. You know what I mean? I don't want to do this what I'm doing ever again. I'm not working my ass off to drop my weight again to put it all back on. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to make you understand you can get a great physique and maintain that physique. Fluctuating through the years, inevitable. But you don't want to fluctuate 2 stone, 3 stone, 4 stone or 5. You want to fluctuate between 7 pounds to a stone maximum. 14 pounds is not hard to lose. So when we're talking about coaches and stuff now, if you want to lose a stone, a stone's easy to lose in 8 to 16 weeks. That's realistic. Lose it within a month if you really want to put the work in. But when we're talking about losing 3 or 4 stone and seeing your abs and looking amazing, this is where you got to put the work in. It takes a year also. It takes a year to do it properly, to make it come off. I could have done some drastic things to drop 2 or 3 stone within 6 months, 3 months, but I'm doing it the right way and I'm building habits I want to maintain for the rest of my life. And I hope all that makes sense. But I've done my steps now. I've done 35 minutes. I've been ranting on. We keep it moving and we keep improving. Walk and talk with me. Episode 2. Be extraordinary.